right, welcome back to the FlatsClass YouTube channel. For those of you that are regulars, I'm usually talking about fishing. That's why the fishing rods are here. For those of you that are brand new to this channel, this is more of a serious video. I'm on my way back. I've had to shorten my trip out to Louisiana because Hurricane Idalia is churning in the Gulf of Mexico and will be, well, up in my neighborhood in about 40 hours. So I should get home tonight from Louisiana, probably around 8:30, and I will be up as the sun gets up getting things prepared. Many of my friends have talked about, oh, I think it'll go by, this, that, and the other thing. Do not, for 1 second, think that you should not evacuate. This is going to be a serious storm. I mean, the type of storm that on the Nature Coast and Big Bend area that could put anywhere from 6 to maybe as much as 12 feet of water well inland. And when I say well inland, I'm talking about all the way to US 19. So if you haven't done that, if you haven't got those important papers together, the insurance stuff, you know, whatever you hold close to your heart and evacuated yet, you need to, because the roads and the highways and the parkways are going to be packed with new residents from Florida that don't know anything about this and they don't know where they're going. So do what's necessary to prepare your home, secure it, and get out of there. I'm racing home. Now, I live on a ridge that's about 130 feet high. I'm about an hour and a half north of Tampa, for those of you that aren't familiar with Crystal River, Florida. But I'm quite concerned about trees coming down, about power being out for a week or two. There's a lot of things to worry about. And this is a way of life in the Gulf Coast. I've seen hurricanes from Texas all the way to South Florida, and I've lived here for half a century, so I know what can happen. But preparation is number one, and heeding the warnings of local and state officials and EMS workers that are going to be telling you, hey, you got to get out of here. Listen to them. Now, I will give you guys updates each and every day, or probably every couple of hours, as this thing is passing by, to let you know, especially if you have interests on the Nature Coast or Big Bend area, because I'm going to be talking to a lot of my friends and I'm going to try to keep everyone informed. But right now, it can affect anyone from Tampa Bay all the way up to maybe St. Joe Bay. No one really knows where it's going. They have an idea, and it's a race between Hurricane Idalia and a cold front coming down, where she turns in and starts to have an effect on the west coast of Florida. But that's not all. Once it crosses the state and jumps out on the other side, because it's going to be a major hurricane, they're telling me Cat 3, this is going to be a big problem for Northeast Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, maybe even North Carolina, who knows. But for now, I just wanted to share that with you, get this news out, because I felt it was dangerous enough to cut my trip short to Louisiana with clients and get back home and get ready for this storm. So if you're in the way, get out of the way. I'm telling you that right now. All right, stay tuned for more. That's what Idalia will do to the Big Bend and Nature Coast. It's going to look ugly for a while, that's for sure. And that, honestly, that deforestation is what's going to happen in the areas around the river there at Steinhatchee and Jenna. That hurricane eye wall is going to hit those pine trees, and it's going to deteriorate the hurricane, I think, pretty quick, but not without a real big toll on the local community, which is smaller there. But Gainesville will feel it. The Nature Coast, where I live, will definitely feel it because they're going to be on what we call the dirty side of the storm. So they're going to see some major flooding. So that's probably what I'll be dealing with, is the flooding in town, and trying to help out some of my buddies, make sure that we clean the mess up once the storm passes. So right now, just a couple of isolated showers, and these are just normal thunder showers on the way home. I'm looking on the map here, I'm above Mexico Beach where Michael came through, but I'm almost to Tallahassee. So a couple of 4.5 more hours, maybe closer to 5 hours, and I'll be home in Crystal River. All right, more progress on the way home. Just topped my diesel off here as I moved into Lamont, Florida. I'm below Tallahassee, I'm on US 19, and all the areas that I have left to drive through on the way home are all going to be affected by Hurricane Idalia. So the latest from the National Hurricane Center as of the 5 o'clock report is that it should come ashore as a strong hurricane category 2 or a category 3. So you're talking winds like 110 or better, maybe 115, 120. If the eye wall's small, where I live in Crystal River or just above it, I might have gusts to like 60 miles an hour and constant gusts to 45. If the storm moves fast enough, maybe not too much damage. But if it moves slow, who knows what could happen. The bigger threat is probably storm surge, and all these low-lying areas that I live in Citrus County typically get flooded on a real strong west wind, a big moon, and really right now what's brewing is the perfect storm, because the storm is going to be there right on the full moon, which happens to be a super moon this week. So we're looking at abnormally high tides, and then this hurricane's going to come in and pile on another 7 to 10 feet or more. So it could change areas like Homosassa, Crystal River, Ozello, Cedar Key. This could be a life-changing storm. I don't want to see it do that, but it could definitely be that type of storm. So really concerned for my friends and family that live in the area, and just all the businesses and stuff that I have relationships with. It's kind of scary. Gives me a lot of anxiety. When I was fishing the last few days in Louisiana, all I could think of is, I need to get home. I need to get home. Not that I can change anything, but I need to get home. And fortunately, my last group, Bobby and Jared, they had just endured Hurricane Ian last summer. They understood. They came out to fish with me, and they're like, I think we all should go home. So they never even fished one day with me, not even 1 hour. We never made one cast. It's like, hey, this is more important. We need to go home. So I'm probably within 3 hours of home now. So I'm just going to drive through these areas and really kind of soak in what this forest, this pine forest, looks like, because it's going to get chewed up big time in 36 hours, because they're calling for landfall in Steinhatchee, Florida, likely Wednesday morning around 8 to 9 a.m. with gusts to 120 miles an hour. That's going to be pretty devastating. And these are some of my favorite zones to fish, but I also have some of my favorite people in them. So I'm going to make my way into Citrus County this evening, and I'll follow up with you guys tomorrow. That's all for now.